lessen 7.5% of change. Percent of change indicates how much a quantity increases or decreases with respect to the original amount. Percent of increase, and you can start where it says, is when the new amount of the quantity is greater than the original amount. Again, when the new amount of the quantity is greater than the original amount. Percent of decrease, start where it says when the new amount, actually I might want to include the when there, when the new amount of the quantity is less than the original amount. The percent of change is the ratio of the amount of increase or decrease to the original amount. So here it is, it's the amount of increase or decrease over the original amount. The best way that I know to explain it is, and to find the amount of increase or decrease, is to take the big number and subtract it by the small number, and then divide it all by the original number. Example 1. A school has 720 students enrolled last year. This year, 745 students are enrolled. By about what percent did the amount of students change from last year to this year? Again, I think it's easier to do the big number minus the small number. That's the amount of increase over the original amount. So the big number in this case is 745. Subtract 720, and the original amount is what was last year, which is 720. 745 divided by 720 is 25. Divide by 720, which is 0.035, 35 thousandths. Change it to a percentage, 3.5%. So the number of students increased by about 3.5%. Example 2, find the percent of decrease. Again, big number minus small number over the original amount. So the bigger number is 576 minus 216. Divide by the original. Now in this case, the original is going to be the first number. So if they don't give you a year or give you any other information to go off of, always just take the fact that the original is the first number. Subtract the numerator. Divide by the denominator. You have 5/8, which you can make it into a decimal if you want, but at the end of it, it needs to become a percentage, 62.5%. That's the amount of decrease. Let's talk about why you would use a percent of increase, a percent of decrease. Ticket prices, or any type of prices. A professional baseball team announces that the average ticket price to one of their games will be 8% more than last year. If the average price of a ticket was $12 last year, how much will the average ticket cost this year? Well, in order to find the average ticket cost this year, you need to increase the average ticket price of last year by 8%. So take the ticket cost from last year, which is $12, and add to that the amount of increase. Again, that's taking 12 times 8%. You have to think of this as being the amount of increase, this 8% times 12. Change the decimal, change it into a decimal. Remember to multiply before you add. So 0.08 times 12 is 96 hundredths plus 12. The ticket price for this year is $12.96. It's okay to get a decimal. We're talking about money, so it's fine. This time, let's find a new amount. In 1990, the average price per pound of a light chunk tuna was $2.11. By 2001, the average price per pound had decreased by 7.1%. What was the average price per pound in 2001? We are going to take the price in 1990. So that was $2.11. And this is basically the formula you're going to use when you're finding a new amount. And they'll tell you that in the directions. So the price in 1990, again, this will just be the original amount. The price in 1990 times 100% minus the decrease. Now we subtract it because we're decreasing by 7.1%. If we were increasing, it would be different. Okay, and you can see it said decrease up here. So let's do the parentheses first. Change it into a decimal, and then multiply. So the price per pound in 2001, since it's a decrease, and now it's money, so you only need the first two decimal places, is $1.96. For number 1 and number 2, find the percent of increase. Remember, this is where you take the big number minus the small number over the original amount. For 3 and 4, you want to find the new amount. So take the original price multiply it by 100%. If it's increase, this is where you have to decide now. If it's increase, you're going to add. If it's decrease, you're going to subtract the percentage that they give you in the problem. Pause the video, try 1 and 2, and 3 and 4. Number 1, take 31 minus 25 over the original amount, 25. And change it into, make sure you change it into a decimal. You might actually want to think about just multiplying it by 100. So at the end, after you do all this, multiply by 100, and that will change it right to a percentage without moving decimals. Number 2, 195 minus 150 over the original price, 150. Again, once you do all this, make sure you multiply by 100, and it'll turn it right into a percentage, 30%. Number 3, increase 54 by 25%. So take 54 times 100%. This is increase, so we're adding the 25%. Change the percentage into a decimal. Multiply by 54. The answer is 67.5. Sorry, I lost some. In number 4, we want to take 78. This time we're multiplying 100% minus 40% because of the decrease we're subtracting, which is going to be 60%, change to a decimal, 0.6, and multiply by 78. Your answer is 46.8. The big number minus the small number in the original. This is if you're finding the percent of increase or decrease. Percent of increase or decrease. To find the new amount, you take the number, and this is probably, I would actually write this formula down. This is probably a better formula than what I gave you originally, because it's not always price here, so it's not always the original price. But take the number they give you, multiply 100% plus the percentage they give you. Again, this is if it's an increase in the amount. If it's a decrease in the amount, then you want to take the number times the percentage, times 100% minus the percentage. Okay? Make sure you write these formulas down. These will help you when you do the practice problems.